Yo, what's going on everyone? In this one, I'm going to be showing you guys the locations of all of the campaign intel here in Black Ops 7. So there's going to be one piece of intel per mission, and there's currently 11 missions in the game. So for the first mission, we're going to be having to go quite a ways through the main objective. So I'll show you guys exactly what to look out for. So after getting about halfway through the mission, you will unlock this ability here for having this additional jump, this exo jump. And just after here is where you're going to want to be on the lookout for the intel. So push a bit forward past this point, and you're going to have to jump past a few of these different rock objects. After this, you're going to see a airstrike from a machete which comes down. Just after this is where you will find the intel piece. Now, one thing that is good about finding the intel, especially if you've already done the campaign, is that when you come back, once you pick up the intel, you can leave the mission. One thing to do though is after you pick up the intel, I just went ahead and downed myself with a grenade. The reason why is it causes the game to autosave, and just to make sure before you leave, it guarantees that it actually collects. So I just went ahead and did that. So you'll notice here, after you get to this point, there'll be these enemies that spawn in, they get taken out by an airstrike. And this is where you're going to find the intel in the first portion of the mission, so you can speed run past everything else and just get to this part. You'll find the intel located right here on this well. So just be sure to pick up this machete here, and you'll get the first piece out of the way. Now, if we make our way to the second mission, you're going to get to an objective point where it says to meet up with Karma. So this one's not too far into the mission. It's about halfway, maybe a quarter of the way through. I already uploaded a guide of this earlier, but I wanted to make sure to get it included in this full set. Now, when you get to this point, you will get to a grappling hook. You're going to need to go downward into the basement area. Once you get down here, you're going to have to interact with a character, and you'll notice that there is a intel piece right here off to the side, so definitely don't miss this one before moving on to the next point of the mission. Right here, it's called The Truth. Once you pick this up, you'll have the intel for the second mission. Hopefully this does help you guys out with the... Now, in the third mission, it's going to be where you have to find woods in the jungle. You're going to have to go all the way to the very end of this mission, unfortunately, if you guys have already completed it and you're just going back for the intel piece. So you'll notice that there will become an objective point towards the end where you have to clear out all these vines, and you're going to ride a ship up to a new layer. So you may notice this part here, you're going to have to break these vines. You're going to go to the next section, and it'll be right after the boat. It's going to tell you guys to clear the vines and follow the vines to the source. Then it will update and say to rescue woods and open the container. So in this giant open area here, you'll then find the container, but you do not want to open the container right away as it will start up a cutscene. Instead, you'll want to actually go behind the container. There's going to be a secret area back here where you can get a few more items together, and you'll also find the collectible hidden back here as well. So you definitely do not want to miss this one. Now, in the very next mission here, we have the cost of business. This one's going to be found when it tells you guys to access the main terminal. So again, it's going to be a bit of a ways through the mission, but it will tell you guys to access the terminal, and you'll get inside this area here. This is going to be after you receive the key card. So you'll be able to then use the key card to log into this area. And one thing to keep in mind is this area is going to have a ton of enemies in it, probably about 20 to 30 very high powerful enemies that you do have to watch out for when coming inside. Now, right next to the terminal where you can log in, you'll find the collectible as well back off in the corner. Again, I already uploaded a video of this earlier. That's why the quality of the video is so bad. But once you guys activate the card, you come over here and you'll be able to pick up the collectible over here in the corner to these computers. So all you have to do is pick this up along your way, and you will get the intel piece for this mission. Hopefully this does help you guys out. I'll be making more guides once I find the other intel piece. After this, we have the disruption mission. Again, I already uploaded a guide of this, but I then went back and found all of the other ones that I was missing. Wanted to upload a full set of all of the collectibles. So you're going to have to get to a point where it says to deactivate the lockdown, and you'll have all these alarms blaring off. You can come up the stairs into this control room, and you'll notice that there's all of these different panels here, and all the way in the corner upstairs is where you're gonna then find this intel piece. So you'll notice that there's this warehouse here that you can walk around and these two different rooms that you can go to. Before you leave, you want to come up here and grab this intel piece. It will be located back here in the corner in between these servers. So I actually found it on accident, which is why I don't have my character going to a very direct straight route to it. I was trying to find something else and actually stumbled across it on accident. But as you can see here, next to all these control panels, you'll then find the best laid plans intel. Now, next up, we have the Coliseum mission. This one allows you guys to free roam pretty much all over the place, but as soon as you start out, you're going to be able to grab yourself a vehicle, and it's telling you to locate the tablet and search the Coliseum. So what you want to do is grab the vehicle and drive it towards the Coliseum as if you're going to complete the mission normally. So we can basically call this the front because this is where the objective points to. So I'm gonna call this the front, even though it's a circle. So once you come here, you'll notice that big sign where it says to rock. You'll have all these enemies. You don't actually really have to worry about them. I just put down a drone to distract them, but you want to come over to the left here, and you're going to notice that you can continue to rotate around the left. You're going to find another one of these rock festival signs and the merchandise tent. Now from there, make another left. You're going to find this abandoned building, these broken down ruins. Once you come upstairs, there's going to be a collectible here for the intel. Again, you can just down yourself after this, leave the mission. You do not have to complete the whole thing since it's actually extremely early on. And then you should still have the intel collected after you back out. Now for the next mission, we're going to go to Fracture. This one can be a bit tricky, but I'll show you guys exactly where to find it. You're going to have to go a little bit of the ways through the mission. It will only take maybe about a minute or so, but you do have to go through the first couple of sections. It will tell you guys to press forward. There's going to be a ton of enemies here. You're going to want to clear them out. So this will be right after a big wave of these robots spawn, these armored robots. It's best just to go and take out all of the robots really quick. You're going to actually get a decent amount of XP for it. You can get your headshots together too, which is pretty sick. So clear out all of these robots very quickly, and then I'll show you guys where the intel is. But you'll notice here how the road starts to twist. This is the area you will want to stop in. Once you take out all these enemies, I'll show you guys exactly where the intel is. So as you guys are crossing these two bridge points where the highway twists around, you're going to notice there's these two different semi trucks. There's a blue semi here, and you'll notice that you can drop inside of it. There's also going to be a red semi as well, a little bit of a ways up. So now that we've cleared out all the enemies, we actually haven't left the area. We're still in the same area. As you push up, though, you're going to notice there's still going to be a few more robots. You want to clear them out. You'll then see this red semi. You want to fall down in here. Look in the back corner on this milk carton, and you will find the last or one of the last pieces of intel, and you can move on to the next mission. So now if we go into quarantine, we're only going to have a few more left. Luckily, these are all, again, pretty much at the beginning of the missions, except for the very last piece. If we come over to the quarantine mission, we can very quickly wrap this one up. So start up the mission. It's going to tell you guys to ascend to the penthouse. And this is only like the second objective in, so it really won't take very long. You're going to have to come to this elevator where it tells you to ascend. Go ahead and do this. Go upstairs. But before making the left to continue on with the mission, I'll show you guys that you want to actually make a right instead. You're going to open up these elevator doors, come through here, and it will tell you guys to go upstairs, make two rights. And then here is where you would normally probably make that left to go with the mission. You want to come into the right here. There's going to be an office, and you can pick up the intel on this desk here. Again, just down yourself and then leave the mission. You can go on to the next one. So in this next mission where it tells you guys to reach the cabin with woods, this one's again going to be kind of far in, about halfway. But if you speed run past it and you just do the objectives very quickly, you can get this done. You're going to be in the cabin before you guys have to go and redo all these memories. And you can get this at any point. If you guys actually kind of go past it, but you'll notice you're going to come here with Woods. He's going to be here by all these monitors. Now, whether you've activated some of the objective points or not, what you want to do at some point is come up here to the upstairs of the cabin. You're going to notice there's this pool table, and then there's actually a few rooms off to the side. There's even a secret weapon here you can grab off the wall, which I thought was pretty cool. But nonetheless, if you guys want the intel, come up here. You'll notice the bathroom, this bedroom, and right here in the corner, there's going to be a fishing rod. You're going to want to go ahead and pick this one up before leaving the area. Now, if we head into the breakpoint mission, this one's going to be pretty easy to collect as well. You're going to notice there's a point where it tells you guys to destroy 6 of these shipments. You're going to have to overheat them. Now, again, you're going to be in a pretty wide open area. So I'll show you guys exactly where you can find these. So as soon as the objective point switches, it's going to tell you guys to come up to this warehouse. You're going to then have to clear out this warehouse before all 6 of the objective points are discovered. So as soon as it's discovered, push up to this warehouse. You can skip all these enemies if you really don't want to deal with them, or if it's like your second playthrough. You come up here to the rooftop, and it will tell you guys that it's still the same objective. You're gonna have to overheat all 6 of the shipments. After you get on top of this warehouse, you can come up here and jump over here just to glide across. You can, the only reason why is because you'll skip all of the enemies this way. Come over here to the docks. You'll then notice the objective comes up. It's going to say to destroy 6 of the shipments. All 6 will then be displayed. And you'll notice here there's this bridge point in between the highway and the warehouse that we just jumped over, as you can see right here. So before doing this, you want to get to this area as quick as you can because there's going to be an objective that stops you from doing this. Go ahead and pick up this intel as soon as you can, and then you'll be done with this one. Now we can finally move on to what I believe is the last piece of intel. And this is by far one of the best missions realistically in COD, but because it's a 45-minute long mission, unfortunately you are going to have to go about halfway through the mission. It'll take about 20 minutes or so to get to this point of the mission. It's going to tell you guys to escape the facility, and then there's actually going to be a small boss fight. So after escaping the facility, you'll then get to a small boss fight where it tells you guys to take on the GX Strider 1. Instead of taking on the Strider, instead come over here. At first, you're going to notice these 2 white crates. What you want to do is actually jump inside of them, and you'll find the 10th and final, or the 11th and final intel piece here in this crate. So that's all of the intel locations here in Black Ops 7. Hopefully this does help you guys out, and I will catch you in the next one.